Over thousands of years, a complete system of medical practice developed in the east of Asia. It's known as traditional Chinese medicine. And at its core, it sees the human body as a harmonious whole, joined by the mysterious meridians.
经络现象是一种生命现象，生命消失了，就不会有经络的现象。
Now, in the 21st century, a seismic shift is underway. Traditional Chinese medicine is incorporating technological developments into its practice, finding ways to examine these meridians as never before.
这是过去无法想象的，那为什么可以做到这样？科学。
Witness the dawn of a new era as this traditional medicine embraces the future in one of the world's highest tech locations, Taiwan. This is not just a story, it's a revolution in the making. Antian is an office worker in Taipei. For some time, she's been plagued with a range of symptoms, and she's been unable to find any cause. To prevent the situation from worsening, she's come to a special clinic to learn more.
现在最大的问题就是很多常年累积的一些小毛病，比如说过敏性鼻炎的鼻塞啊，生理期不顺啊，经常的头痛啊，常年在感冒等等，其实造成生活都很多的困扰。可是心里就会觉得说，就是如果不去处理的话，之后就会变成更严重的问题。
Strapped to her wrist, a unique device meticulously measures her pulse. Its ever-shifting waveform on the screen, holding the promise of unlocking the secrets behind her afflictions.
通常西医可能会开一些消炎药啊，或是喷剂。虽然当下症状有改善，但是那些不舒服症状会一直不停的复发。长久下来就会变得很依赖这些西药，因为它病因并没有完全去除。
Despite its modern appearance, this clinic is actually devoted to one of the oldest forms of medical treatment, traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. Dr. Guo Yucheng has been practicing TCM for nearly 30 years. He's taken on Antian's case, and after examining her, has diagnosed excessive liver fire and heavy cold. The terms may sound foreign, but according to TCM, they're very specific and come from his observations of her pulse.
中医的学习里面，代代相承里面最特别的就是脉诊的部分，它必须透过师徒制，把里面很微妙的部分能够传授。一个医师如果不能够掌握脉象，其实不可能当好的中医的。
The wisdom may be ancient, but Dr. Guo's methods aren't. Apart from using fingers to measure the patient's pulse, Dr. Guo, trained in electronics as well as TCM, employs a device that modernized the practice. An innovative attempt to combine the ancient wisdom of Chinese medicine with the precision of modern technology.
我们透过一个血压计就可以量到我们的血压波，看到它的12经脉，这是过去无法想象的啊。那为什么可以做到这样？科学嘛，在经脉上面，无论是肝经、肾经、脾经，它们都是可以量测到的。也就是透过血压波的分析，得到它的斜坡，我们就可以知道肝气强或者弱，肾气强或者弱。
It's actually a unique pulse monitor. This machine detects all the fine nuances of a beating pulse more objectively than any doctor.
你可以透过脉来诊断12经脉的气血虚实。我们西方医学在量测血压的时候，事实上我们只有量测2个点，最高点就是收缩压，最低点就是舒张压。可事实上，其他的600多点都是被忽略的。
For TCM, the information from blood pressure waves that Western medicine overlooks is precisely what constitutes the core diagnostic essence of this ancient practice. The body's meridian system. By detecting this system, the hidden secrets within the human body are unveiled. It sounds truly magical, but what exactly are meridians?
事实上，经脉其实是整个演化过程中，生命系统为了解决这个传输的问题所进行的一种设计。
Imagine an invisible yet intricate network running through your body, like a delicate thread weaving together every part. Meridians are a system within the human body responsible for communication, transportation, and conduction. Unlike the blood vessels or nervous system in Western medicine, this system, with its 12 main meridians, serves as pathways for the flow of blood and qi, which is known as vital energy. It connects the internal organs with the body's surface, linking all parts of the body together.
中医有5脏，肝、心、脾、肺、肾，它呢来运作、储存能量。然后呢有6腑，有胃、小肠、大肠、膀胱、胆、三焦，这些通路来吸收营养。好了，我们有器官，我们有能量进来，那怎么办？它要运送，所以运送的管道呢，它就有经络系统。
There are 12 meridians aligned with the ancient concept of yin and yang. The 6 yin meridians are on the inner side of the limbs, chest, and abdomen, and the 6 yangs on the outer limbs, head, and torso. 10 of these meridians correspond to individual organs. The heart and lung meridians extend from their organs to the hands. While the large intestine and small intestine meridians travel in the opposite direction, from the hands to the head. From the head to the feet run those of the stomach, bladder, and gallbladder. Likewise, the spleen, kidney, and liver meridians stretch from the feet to the abdomen. Then there's the pericardium meridian, which originates around the heart and is connected to emotional and mental health. Finally, there's the Sanjiao, or triple burner meridian, that connects multiple organs and regulates the metabolism. These meridians all need to be working properly for a person to be healthy.
每个人的5脏6腑经络都不一样，你就是 unique， 你就是独一的你自己。所以医师呢会去看待病人，然后呢把这个个体性的特质掌握以后，在他得同一种疾病，其实表现也会不一样。那我们就会依照个人去治疗他。
Western medicine has its origins in centuries of anatomical study. If you're unwell, you're examined using blood tests, imaging techniques, and so on, focusing on individual parts, narrowing down the possibilities until a cause can be found. The body is seen as a machine with a part that's malfunctioning. And once that part has been identified, it's targeted as accurately as possible with medicine or surgery. In contrast, traditional Chinese medicine, deeply connected to Eastern philosophical thought, holds a different perspective. It sees the body as an organic whole, where all parts are interconnected. Each part depends on the others and has an effect on the others. At the core of this understanding are the 5 organs, which, interconnected through the meridian system, establish a complex and harmonious network of interactions within the body. At its simplest, Western medicine looks at illness, TCM looks at health.
人是一个小的宇宙，跟这个大宇宙是互相共振的。一旦这个乱度超过了一个稳定的状态的时候，它就是生病了。当到这个不可逆变成是所有的经脉都这样的时候，它就死亡了。那我们中医在做什么？就是在还可逆的过程中把它恢复了。
Dr. Zhang Henghong is a TCM professor at China Medical University, the pioneer institution in Taiwan for training TCM professionals.
您看过那个脉诊仪那些吗？有吗？
Today, he'll be guiding 2 new doctors for a practical session. The patient they'll be treating is a young individual who's come in with a skin complaint. First, he talks to the patient.
湿疹的话都长在什么地方？
通常会是手，然后脚的膝关节这边。对。
平常也会容易口干舌燥。
会，那个嘴唇很容易干裂。
好 ，OK， 我们来把一下。
Then he goes to direct diagnosis, feeling the pulse. He wants to find out how the energy is flowing in her body. Pulse examination typically occurs on the wrist, where the radial artery pulses. The 3 specific locations on the wrist are called Cun, Guan, and Shi. Each of the locations is believed to correspond to a particular organ. On the right wrist, they're the lungs, spleen, and the kidneys. While those on the left hand reflect the conditions of the heart, liver, and kidneys again.
一个人像一个乐器，我们的这个手，它其实就像那个小提琴的那个把位一样子哈。那你的这个某一个部分发生了裂痕，或者是它那个地方破了，你那个弦一拉，那整个声音的共振都变了。那这种共振它传到我们的脉的时候，我们就要很仔细的去侦测，去感受它。
Usually, different degrees of pressure are applied to these 3 positions using the fingers. And then each position is assessed based on the actual pathological condition. Dr. Zhang holds the pulses for around a minute, enough for at least 50 beats. He's looking for subtle variations that will let him know about the energy flow in the meridians and the circulation of qi and blood.
一个中医师传统的中医的训练，感跟觉是非常重要的。那个感的部分，望、闻、问、切，这种都需要感官，用这种原始的感官不断的去训练，让它能够很细腻、很敏锐的去观察到一点点的变化。这个是感的部分。那觉的部分就要靠思考。OK， 我们看一下舌头。
The tongue is one of the few internal organs that can be observed easily. According to TCM, it's connected to the other internal organs through the meridians and can be used as a guide to the patient's condition. The tip of the tongue shows the condition of the heart and lungs. The middle corresponds to the digestive system. The back is connected to the kidneys, and the sides to the liver and gallbladder. The coating of the tongue's surface is referred to as moss, and this is what the doctor examines. It's another key to diagnosis, and any changes here reflect changes in the patient's ailment.
中医有一个理论叫做全息论，就是说，身体的每一个部分都带着它全体系统的某一些讯息。比方说，我们肝硬化，肝硬化的时候，的确在这两侧会看到淤血。那中医本来就是讲说，这个肝气郁滞、肝血瘀滞，它就会出现这种瘀斑。所以身体的内在的疾病，的确有很多会反映在舌头上的。
For thousands of years, TCM doctors have relied on their senses to make their diagnoses. While they may have this form of diagnosis down to a fine art, there's no standardization of results, and different doctors may make different observations. So, if traditional Chinese medicine is to be modernized, observations need to be standardized as measured data. The doctors now use a specialized camera to make observations of the tongue. Ambient light can change the appearance of the tongue, so this camera removes those variations. It allows them to judge the distribution of the moss and the actual color of the tongue itself. They can also evaluate the red spots they observe. It gives the doctors more objective data to use in their diagnoses. Alongside simple visual observations, doctors also listen to the patient's voice. Speech involves the tongue, the throat, the nasal passages, and the lungs. So if there are voice changes, these can also be used by TCM doctors to understand the condition of the organs and the strength of qi and blood flow.
中医是说，你同一个人早上、下午、晚上疲倦的时候、生气的时候、感冒的时候、心脏有病的时候、肝脏有病的时候，声音有什么不同？他的身体在讲什么？这是我们想要知道的事情。所以这是闻诊仪，我们至少留下声音，留下他的资料，然后这里面怎么做对比？未来有很多在资料库里面可以去挖掘。
The machine lets them detect changes over time that would be hard for doctors to do if they relied solely on their ears from one session to the next. And even the analysis of the most fundamental TCM diagnostic technique can be improved.
脉波仪这个仪器可以调到非常非常灵敏，而且它也不会疲倦，很稳定的去把这些讯号侦测到，而且把它放大。我们可以协助就是中医师在学习的过程之中更快速。他知道他看见了这个波形的变化，然后他手上也感觉到了那个东西，那就知道哦，原来老师是在感觉这个东西。好，那这个在学习的过程中就得到了一个便利。
The Veterans General Hospital is ranked as the top hospital in Taiwan. It handles nearly 10,000 outpatient visits every day. Alongside all the first-class Western medical treatments available here, it also has a very busy outpatient department that focuses on traditional Chinese medicine. Six months ago, TV director Lance Yu was struck down by an acute inner ear infection.
当天开车上班到了公司之后呢，跟同事讲电话，忽然就听不到声音，从头到尾大概就2个小时之间，我就完全失去平衡，只能坐在椅子上，我的耳朵就 左耳就完全就听不见了。
The condition was debilitating.
这是2个月
He suffered from continual dizziness and found it difficult to walk,
对，只有左耳。
all of which had a significant impact on his ability to work.
那你针灸过
He received emergency treatment with Western medicine at first, which helped bring him back to health. But he feels more could be done.
西医师的训练当中，本来他就是一直非常重视他的病理啊，那要去做那个对病理的改善。那我们的中医的话，我们是从另外一个方向来考虑，就是这个病人的生活面，他的这个身体的状态要被能够保持住啊，所以他的走向的方向就是不太一样的。胎是不错，可是你旁边的那个
Lance turned to Dr. Chun Fong Pei in the TCM department at the Veterans General Hospital. Having trained in Western medicine as well as TCM, Dr. Chun can balance the treatment systems together. In Lance's case, she's been using one of the most recognizable treatments in TCM.
我没有针灸过，这是我第一次针灸，所以我只是希望让我的耳朵能够复原，看看有什么方法可以让它好。
TCM believes that the body's life force, qi, flows along the meridians. When it's in balance, the mind, emotions, and body remain healthy. But if the qi is unbalanced, then a patient may become ill. By inserting fine needles into specific points, the stimulation can unblock the stagnant meridians and promote the healthy flow of qi and blood. Once the inner balance is restored, the body can set about healing itself.
针灸在取穴的时候，它有2个原则，一个是局部取穴，一个叫做远端取穴。那玉先生就是很清楚，他就是听力了。所以我不单是在这个耳朵局部取穴之外，可是光是局部取穴还不够，所以我们就会用到三焦经的远端穴，或者小肠经的远端穴，或者是连到这个胆经的在腿上的穴道。
For all this to be successful, the needles have to be inserted in exactly the right places along the meridians.
所以其实针灸还蛮开心的。
If the meridians are these pathways through the body, the belief is that there are access points scattered across the body that allow them to be directly affected. These are known as acupoints. A total of 361 acupoints have been identified across all 12 meridians. Each one is connected via the meridian to the specific organs within the body. And if they are stimulated, the flow of qi and blood can be regulated and invigorated as part of a treatment regimen.
我现在其实我的平衡算是好非常多了。我现在也可以骑脚踏车，也可以运动。本来我游泳是可能你一下水就撞墙壁的那一种，但是现在已经可以游直的了。
Herbal medicine is another facet of TCM therapies, working to restore balance and health. Primarily plant-based, there are still some ingredients that use minerals and animal products. Herbal medicines are blended into formulas, some of which have been in use for over 2,000 years. These time-tested formulas are composed of ingredients chosen to function in combination with each other.
中医在使用中药有别于针灸，针灸是内部气血的调控，中药是从外部补充来做身体的调控。 不管是增减或是循环上的改善，这个就是重要。
Taking herbal medicine hasn't always been simple. Not only does the balance of ingredients have to be tailored exactly to each patient, they also have to be prepared at home, usually by decoction. Boiling the ingredients to create a concentrated liquid filled with all the active substances. But now, there's a modern way to streamline the process.
处方签上面会有一维条码，它在扫了条码之后呢，那我们的这个中药药柜灯号系统就会亮灯，药师就可以依据这个灯号迅速的找到正确的药品。接下来药师会将正确的这些药品呢进行一个混合的动作。 在搅拌混合均匀之后呢，就会再使用我们的这个药品分包机去进行一个分包的动作。
The efficiency and accuracy of providing the herbal mix aren't just enhanced by this smart medication equipment. There are now ways to turn the ingredients into pills and powders that are much quicker to prepare and consume. If people were previously reluctant to spend time on preparing their own medicines, now they don't have to.
中医具备的几个很有趣也很独特的这个医学的工具哈，从针灸去调整，从整复去把身体结构复原，从中药来做补充、做调控，所以这些治疗方式完全是立足在这个器官、组织结构、经络系统这样的一套理论之下所做的科学性的侦测跟操作。
Back in Dr. Guo's clinic, he made a diagnosis for Antien's condition based on the information from the pulse diagnosis device.
所以，我们事实上一个病人诊断量测完进来之后，我们事实上就会计算出他的，用 AI 去把他的所谓的经方解，就会把它列在这里。那我们就可以从这个病例就看到，他的心经、心包经、肝经跟肾经都是实的。 其他都是虚的，那我们治疗怎么办？当然就把这个实的，把它平衡下来，让它降低，去补虚的啊。
However, not everyone has the courage to let fine needles be inserted into their bodies.
我其实非常怕针，所以我虽然知道针灸它有非常好的疗效，但我从来没有去尝试过这样子。
Fortunately, recent developments mean she can avoid needles. Acupuncture using lasers. The selected acupuncture points are targeted with low-intensity lasers. The result seems to be the same as traditional acupuncture, with doctors recording stimulation of qi and blood flow. It's a less invasive approach that's particularly useful for patients with a phobia of needles.
透过这个整个智慧型的中医的这个诊疗系统，我们可以训练新一代的医生，他不只会更精确，而且他会找到更多过去中医不能够解决的问题，同时他也可以解决很多西方医学也不能解决的问题，这才是科学的精髓啊！
光是不是要换掉？中医走到21世纪了。 你总要跟大家共荣，就是任何的可以用的工具仪器，我们都利用来帮助中医确定他的中医学的诊断。那这个就是深化我们的学术的一种智能。
西医的强项是生的病的研究非常细致，那中医的强项是对人的认识跟照顾做得很好。当我们可以把它完整整合在一起，大家都可以理解啊，我既可以照顾人，也可以治疗人生的病，刚好是两个可以互补的。
A hallmark of traditional Chinese medicine is its remarkable ability to integrate new ideas without abandoning the old. This adaptability allows technologies to enrich and complement traditional practices, greatly enhancing their resilience. In Taiwan, experts work tirelessly to propel traditional medicine into the 21st century and a new era of healthcare. As long as patients find it effective, this ancient wisdom will not only endure, but continue to thrive and evolve, securing its relevance and vitality for centuries to come.